doing remarkably well. My cancer officially is in remission, although I'm getting chemo on a reduced schedule, what they call a maintenance schedule, which means once every 2 months I get a medicine called Rituxan to try to lengthen these remissions. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma mantle cell, which I have, is not curable, but more and more it's treatable. And with the different medications that we have now, it looks like might be able to keep it in check for a while. My heart surgery a few years ago, that's going well. I've been able to get into a normal rhythm. Atrial fibrillation is not a problem. I still have a lot of medication, pacemaker, and see a lot of doctors. They keep me busy, but they're doing their job, and thank the Lord I'm still able to do what I am doing. As long as He wants to keep me here, I'll do what I can. I think in terms of what I've learned, people often ask me that, and I've thought a lot about it. In some ways, I would have to say I really haven't learned anything new. I've just learned that what I believed is true. That God is in charge of everything. All things work together for good, for His people. And He does walk with me through the valley of the shadow of death. And as long as He gives me the opportunity to remain here, I want to love Him with my heart and soul, and my neighbor as myself. So that is a privilege to be alive in this world and serve the Lord in whatever way He wants us to serve Him. So sickness, you know, for me is almost, these diseases are almost a kind of description of who I am. I don't really think about it all that much, but I couldn't think of myself as somebody not having cancer. It's not that I wanted to have cancer, and certainly not that I like having cancer, but it's just who I am. God structures our lives and puts these things in our lives, and they're all there for good, and I try to trust Him every day for that. There haven't been many times during these years that I have really struggled with, why did God do this? I think the only time that really bothered me was after a series of radiation treatments to my throat, because the cancer was in my throat at that time, and I lost my voice. And for a year and a half, I could not teach. That was a real struggle, because to be a teacher who can't talk, you feel pretty useless. And I began to wonder why on earth God allowed that particular problem to happen, because that was what I could do. But I learned some things there too, like patience and endurance and trust in the Lord. He doesn't need my voice. He has plenty of voices. And He uses us as His servants, but we're not indispensable. Couple of weeks, I'll have a colonoscopy. I do one every 6 months. I'm now over 40 colonoscopies. They say I hold the record at St. John's Mercy for the most colonoscopies, maybe the most in St. Louis. But I have to do that every 6 months. That's the best check as to whether the cancer has returned or not.